What's up guys, welcome back to another video. It's Alexi here. So in this video I want to talk about the patterns that you have, and when you're in a phase journey and you have these like bad patterns and whatever, like I don't know, this could be like literally anything. It could be habits, or it could be maybe routine, like bad routines, or something you do that's like a bad thing. I don't know. For me that could have been literally like, I don't know, maybe having an addiction or something, or some kind of a bad time waste, for example. Like it could be like, maybe it's related to resting, maybe it's related to working, it could be about anything. Like maybe you get distracted constantly when you're working, like you're always like on your phone, or you're supposed to do work but you get distracted by like reels or YouTube videos or something that's happening around you or whatever, or people message you constantly and stuff. And that's kind of like where the devil attacks you, is when you refine these kind of patterns and you make these kind of patterns in your mind. The devil tries to kind of refine these patterns in your mind even more, because when he gets you into that loop, then you become more distracted and distracted, and the more distracted you become, the more you get stuck in that loop, and then it's harder to break till you actually notice it. And it's so important for you to notice these like different patterns you have that you have to like cut off. And it of course all depends on the situation and where you're at and what you're doing. So I can't really say what's that for you, because there's so many that you could have. Maybe it's also like, I don't know, it could be related to your pursuit of the word, reading the word, praying. Maybe you have bad patterns with that. Maybe you have bad patterns with sleeping, I don't know. Or maybe you just like overwork or underwork, or even if you overwork, you kind of like pretend that you're overworking, but you're not actually like getting anything done, in the sense that you're distracted, or like you're always like interrupted, or by somebody or something. Everybody has different environments, and maybe you live with your family or something, or people bother you, or you have a lot of friends. So you have to really remember that it's important to like break these kind of patterns as fast as possible. And yeah, just don't let the devil win in these kind of things, because distraction is probably the biggest weapon he has. And battling, of course, like for your own mind is the most important. And sometimes the devil doesn't even need to use these kind of like patterns. He can just like use your mind, in the sense that like if you don't have peace of mind all the time, in the sense to the best of your ability, of course we all have circumstances sometimes that trigger things out of us, and that's normal. But like it's so important for you to be in that stillness and peace of mind as much as possible, because if you're not, then that's also another way the devil can kind of get you, is how are you able to, like, if you aren't even distracted or whatever, then how are you able to actually do whatever you're supposed to do, if you're constantly distracted by your own mind, even if your external circumstances are fine and you don't have any bad patterns about like scrolling and stuff like that, wasting time and so on. You have to also keep your own mind healthy and not be distracted by your own thoughts, because your own very thoughts could also be a bad pattern. Like maybe you get stuck in negative loops and you don't get anything done because of those negative loops in your mind. Or rarely it's positive loops that are the problem, but it could also be some kind of a, maybe it's a comfort or a positive, what you think is a positive comfort loop pattern that like you like doing, and that's actually harming you, that you think is positive, but it's actually the devil kind of attacking you through that like comfort loop or something. So there's like a lot of these like deep things you have to think about and contemplate on yourself when you're reading the word and pursuing God and praying to God and helping for help and guidance and so on, enlightenment. You really have to also discern and understand yourself, or really come to understand yourself on a deep level, to understand these like patterns you might have of comforts, negativities, and whatever is in your mind, and how these like perpetuate you not being able to kind of do much, or maybe you're doing too much, or whatever it is for you. Or maybe you're just not like resting enough, or whatever. Maybe it's, again, mind distractions or external distractions or patterns that you have with people. Maybe you spend too much time talking to people, the wrong people, especially if you keep too much time talking to people and spending, sometimes you can get distracted by external people that you don't even know, and you have like useless conversations. Maybe they're delaying you what you're supposed to be doing, or maybe you're texting too much, or you're spending too much time even like scrolling through social media and, talking to people on social media and so on. But that's all I really want to say in this video. If there's a will, there's a way. 101 is in the description, then it's in the description. Thank you very much. Helps a lot to run this channel and helps me keep going and to keep doing and making these videos. If you'd like to donate, that helps a lot. Thank you.